What's up guys, it's the T-Ball and I am back with another video. Before I start, if you guys could leave a like and subscribe for more NBA, Brooklyn Nets, and Jeremy Lin videos, your support is greatly appreciated as we are trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, so if not subbed, be sure to hit that sub button as your support is greatly appreciated. So first off, sorry if I sound congested as allergy season is going on very strong this year, so sorry about that. And also I want to say sorry for the lack of videos lately. I have been very busy with tests and finals and all that, fun stuff. But with those being over now, I definitely have some more time to make some videos, so be sure to leave some video suggestions down below in the comments and I will definitely try to do any of some suggested video ideas. So today we're going to be going over why Jeremy Lin is criminally underrated. So first off, Jeremy Lin has been deemed overrated by many NBA fans since his New York Knicks days, but now some are getting around to the idea that he is actually underrated at this point of his career. I would personally like to bring up a few points on why Lin is in fact underrated now, and especially during this past season with the Brooklyn Nets. So to start off simply, his basic numbers are better than what they seem on paper. So Lin averaged 14.5 points, 5.1 assists, 3.8 rebounds, 1.1 steals, 0.4 blocks, 2.4 turnovers, and 2.2 personal fouls in 24.5 minutes per game. So the key point is that Lin averaged those numbers, which are already very solid, in only 24.5 minutes per game. Lots of starters or point guard starters could average those numbers in about 32, 36 minutes per game, but in Lin's case, Lin throughout the season was hampered with those hamstring injuries, and he was put on limit restrictions throughout the season. So when we see his numbers per 36 minutes, he averaged a career high 21.3 points, 7.5 assists, 5.5 rebounds, which is great as Lin had a great rebounding year. Even in Lin's 24.5 minutes per game, he averaged a career high 3.8 rebounds per game, as it looked like at the end of the season he looked to focus more on rebounding the ball, as the Nets didn't really have a great rebounder on the team this past season. Lin also averaged 1.7 steals, 0.6 blocks, 3.5 turnovers, and 3.2 personal fouls in this span. Not to mention, he had a very, very solid 19.2 PER, which is way above the average PER of 15. And he also shot a pretty solid 43.8% from the field, a career high 37.2% from three-point range, which is also above average, and 81.6% from the free throw line this past season. So, for comparison, guard Mike Conley of the Memphis Grizzlies, who is recognized as a top 10 point guard in the league, and basically an all-star, but with the West being, or the West having a ton of great point guards. Conley did not make the all-star team last season, but I believe he did deserve to make it. Conley per 36 minutes averaged 22.2 points, 6.8 assists, 3.8 rebounds, 1.4 steals, and 0.3 blocks per game in 36 minutes, or per 36 minutes last season. Conley earned $30 million a year last season, while Lin only averaged $12 million, or Lin made $12 million a year last season. So Conley made about 3 times as much money as Lin, even though their per 36 minutes stats are at least very similar, with Lin beating out Conley in every single stat category except for the points, where Conley beat Lin out in the points by only 0.9. So also want to point out Lin played with much lesser talent around him last season, with the defenses on the opposing team focusing in on him, and Lin averaged a similar amount of points still compared to Conley, when Conley on the Grizzlies had guys like Marc Gasol who can score, Zach Randolph, those types of guys can definitely take the pressure off Conley, with defenses focusing on Marc Gasol a lot, as obviously Gasol has expanded his range to three-point territory and he can basically score from anywhere now. Lin also averaged more assists per 36 minutes, even though Conley had much better talent around him. Also, Lin doesn't handle the ball as much as Conley, as Lin is in a quote-unquote motion offense where everybody on the court gets basically an equal opportunity to make plays, while Conley is able to handle the ball for the majority of the Grizzlies' possessions, as the Grizzlies don't run a motion offense. I am not 100% sure on what offense the Grizzlies run, but I'm pretty sure that they do not run a motion offense, but correct me if I'm wrong. So even with all those stats, many fans unreasonably claim that Conley is a much better player than Lin, which is simply untrue in my opinion. I believe they are about the same, stat-wise at least, and I believe Lin is about equal at least to Conley right now. If not, I think Lin is personally better than Conley, even though Conley is a better shooter than Lin right now, as Conley did shoot, I'm pretty sure, over 40% from three-point range last season. So they're very comparable players, just to recap on that. I also want to point out that some still believe that Lin is a poor defensive player, which is simply untrue as well. But don't take my word for it. Just ask Steve Clifford. Oh, and also want to point out, by the way, those stats were from basketballreference.com. I will have a link to those excuse me, stats down in the description below. So Steve Clifford, who is the head coach of the Charlotte Hornets, and he coached Lin during the 2015 to 16 season, said about Lin, he's a much better defender than people realize, which implies that Lin is underrated. He competes hard every night, and he's a very serious player. Lin ranked number 20 among point guards on ESPN's DRPM, Defensive Real Plus Minus, having to guard elite players such as Jimmy Butler, James Harden, and others. And this past season with the Nets, Lin, who played injured for quite a big portion of the season, or at least limited, during this past season with the Nets, was ranked 21. So, and also want to point out, after you take out guys who played less than 20 minutes per game on the rankings, Lin was actually number 12. So not too shabby for a quote-unquote bad defensive player, as some seem to say. Lastly, I want to point out, Lin simply makes his teammates and the players around him better. When Lin returned after his third hamstring injury, players around him were put back into their correct respective positions and spots on the floor. Lin was able to break down defenses consistently, giving guys open shots on the floor with his kickouts and his finds to guys like Brook Lopez and Trevor Booker in the paint. With Lin back on the floor, guys like Brook Lopez were able to finish strong on the season, as Lopez shot 50.5% from the field to go along with 20.5 points per game in April. LeVert also averaged 12.3 points per game on 47.8% shooting in April, so not too shabby for both of those guys, as they both saw their shooting percentages go up with Lin on the floor. So finally, the Nets finished with a 10-10 record in between March 6th and April 10th, where Lin was leading the charge, and he only missed one game, which was against, I want to say it was the Pistons during that stretch, and Lin returned for the next game against the Suns, which their 10-10 record during that span is much better than their overall 20-62 record on the season. So that's a wrap. I hope you guys did enjoy this quick little video. I will definitely be making more videos like this soon, and if you guys have any suggestions down in the comments, if you guys have any suggestions on what types of videos you want me to make, be sure to leave them down in the comments below. And hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me what you guys thought about this video as well. I definitely think Lin is still underrated, and even during his Knicks days, I just want to point out, some say he was overrated, which may be true, but still I think Lin was actually still at least somewhat underrated with the Knicks, as he was, some people overrated him so much to a point where other NBA fans, underrated him after that, if that makes any sense to you guys. As I think the key thing in what makes a player a superstar is if that player makes the players around him better, or just better by a significant amount, not just by a small amount, but a significant amount. That's why I don't consider guys like Carmelo Anthony a superstar. Melo does not make players around him better. In fact, he kind of makes players around him worse, in my opinion. But that's because of his iso ball stopping game, and his defense is terrible as well. But that's a whole another story. I exposed Carmelo Anthony in another video. I will leave that the link to that video down in the comments, in the description below. So yeah, that's a wrap. Thanks guys for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy, and I hope you guys all have a great one. So once again, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys soon for the next video. Peace.